Oh hi! Thanks for watching my video. It's been a while since I made a comparison video, and even then the comparisons I made were between The Sims 3 and The Sims 4. So I thought I'd dip my toe in the comparison pool again and take a look at the main differences between the classic Sims 2 and The Sims 3 to determine which game is better, in my opinion. In order to do this, I'll be breaking down several aspects of the games and pick which game I think does certain things best, and by the end we should have a winner. So the aspects I'll be looking at are worlds, storytelling, create a sim, build and buy, gameplay, and expansion packs. Before I begin, I just want to clarify that this is just my opinion on the games, and if you disagree with my choices, that's fine. I won't cry much, but at least let me know why in the comments. So let's begin, starting with the worlds. The Sims 2 base game comes with 3 pre-existing neighbourhoods, plus the ability to create your own custom neighbourhood with the choice of terrain type. The 3 neighbourhoods you start with are Pleasant View, Strangetown and Veronaville. Each world contains a storybook pop-up before you enter, giving you a bit of background info on the townies before you play with them. Every household has a family bio, but each neighbourhood has a main storyline that it follows. The stories of Pleasant View and Strangetown are centred around the disappearance of Bella Goth, and Veronaville is based around the Sims version of Romeo and Juliet. In the Sims 2 base game, you'll just get the option of residential or community lot type, but a community lot type can be multiple things. You could have a clothes store, grocery store, a park, a pool, a gym and a restaurant. The Sims 3 base game comes with the neighbourhood of Sunset Valley and an additional neighbourhood of Riverview if you download it from the Sims 3 website. The map is pretty similar to The Sims 2, you can move around it freely and place lots almost anywhere you want. The world of Sunset Valley is bigger than the individual worlds in The Sims 2, but then again you do also get more worlds in The Sims 2, so I'd say it's about even in terms of space for lot placement if you stick with the pre-existing worlds. If you create custom neighbourhoods in The Sims 2, then you'll have more to work with there. There aren't any storybook pop-ups this time around, but there are stories within the townie bios, which we'll talk about a bit more in a minute. The lot types you get in the Sims 3 base game are residential, park, pool, gym, library, beach, art gallery, graveyard and fishing spot, so it works out to be about 2 more than what we get in the Sims 2. Although there are more lot types available in the Sims 3, I personally am giving this one to the Sims 2. Reason being is that you can create custom worlds easily in this game, and you can actually use the lot types for what they are and don't have to deal with rabbit holes. So now we move on to storytelling. Storytelling also plays a part in determining the better game, so let's take a look. In The Sims 2 you can find storytelling in multiple places. It hits you in the face before you even enter a neighbourhood, as I mentioned earlier. And you can find more information on the neighbourhood story by clicking on the storybook icon in the corner. For many families there will be actions already laid out for you to complete when you start playing as them. For example, if you play as the Pleasant family in Pleasant View, you'll get a pop-up that reveals the man of the house, Daniel, is having an affair with the maid, and that he will have a want to invite her over once his wife goes to work. On the first day of playing, Daniel's wife Sue will come home early from work and catch Daniel in the act. Once this happens, it will be up to you to take it from there. Many families have this kind of setup. If you follow the prompts, you'll uncover more information about the townies. You can also uncover storytelling from the past if you look through your Sims memories, existing relationships, and family trees. The Sims 3 isn't quite set up the same as The Sims 2. There is some information laid out on the neighbourhood page that gives you insight into the town's story, but there aren't any storybooks this time around. There is definitely lore within the game. You can uncover information from the individual family bios and by looking through your Sims relationship panel, but in base game there isn't a memory system, so you can't actually see what happened up until when the game starts. The Sims 3 is set 50 years before The Sims 2, so there are some reoccurring characters like the Goth family and the Broke family, so you do know a little bit about these characters already, or you know about their futures at least if you've played The Sims 2. The town of Sunset Valley doesn't really have a main storyline like it did in The Sims 2, although there is somewhat of a story regarding a rivalry between the Alto family and the Landgrabs. But there are no laid out prompts to further the story within gameplay this time around. When it comes to storytelling, I think the majority will agree with me in giving this one to The Sims 2. Not only were there many ways to uncover storylines, but The Sims 2 was also the host of the biggest storytelling The Sims franchise has had to date, which is, of course, the disappearance of Bella Goth. So now let's move on to create a sim. So in The Sims 2 you could choose to create a male or female sim, and you had the age options of toddler, child, teenager, adult and elder. You could choose one of 2 body types. You could also choose from 4 skin tones. You could customize your sim's face using sliders for their facial features, and you could also apply makeup and some accessories. You could choose your sim's outfit for every day, as well as other occasions like formal wear, bedtime wear, swimwear and fitness clothing. In terms of personality, you could choose your sim's zodiac sign, lifetime aspiration and their turn-ons and turn-offs. The Sims 2 was the first game to introduce the genetics system and family trees, allowing you to merge the genetics of 2 Sims to create a child that has features from both their parents. You could also add your Sims' relations to each other via the family tree. In The Sims 3, you had a lot more options when it comes to create a sim. You had all the same age groups from The Sims 2, plus the added life stage of young adult. You also had a colour wheel for skin, hair and eye colour, plus the feature of creator style, which allowed you to fully customise your Sim's clothing with various patterns and colours. The sliders were brought back to allow players to manipulate facial features, and you could also add beauty spots and freckles. The genetic system was brought back from The Sims 2, and so was the family tree, now allowing the option to add Sims as boyfriend and girlfriend. And now, in addition to zodiac signs, Sims also had likes, dislikes, traits and a lifetime wish. I personally prefer the look of the Sims from The Sims 2, as I think The Sims 3 are like little pudding people, but I cannot deny that The Sims 3 offers far more in terms of customization when it comes to create a sim, so this one goes to The Sims 3. Then we have Build and Buy. I'm not going to speak much on this one because I'm not the best builder and I didn't use Build and Buy in either game that often. I found the Build and Buy functionality pretty similar in both games. The Sims 3 obviously offered more current objects than The Sims 2, given that it came out 5 years later, and it also incorporated the colour wheel and creator style, which again made Build and Buy more customisable than The Sims 2. I personally find it really annoying though that The Sims 3 Build and Buy constantly has ads for store items. But regardless of the annoying pop-ups, Sims 3 Build and Buy is better than The Sims 2 in my opinion, purely because there's more customization options. And of course, how can we do a comparison of 2 games without talking about gameplay? So let's start by looking at what both games offer. They both offer the ability to create families and build their homes. The Sims in both games have basic needs that need to be fulfilled, such as hunger, hygiene, energy, etc. And in both games you can give your Sims jobs that are essentially rabbit holes, and in both games kids go to school. There are a few differences in the last 2 aspects that I mentioned. The Sims 3 has multiple rabbit hole buildings, so in this game you can actually follow your Sims and see where they go to work or go to school. It is still a rabbit hole, but you can at least see where they go. In The Sims 2, they'll just be picked up by a carpool or school bus and taken away for the day. In The Sims 2 though, your Sims carpool will gradually improve with the more promotions your Sim gets. At level 1 in their career, they'll get picked up by an old banger, and as you level up, the carpool will get fancier and fancier. When it comes to schooling, Sims in The Sims 2 have the option to go to private school after impressing the headmaster. There are more schooling options in The Sims 3 with an expansion pack, but not in base game. Both games have wants and fears for your Sims. The Sims 2 has memories, which are not included in The Sims 3 unless you have the Generations expansion, which has memories in a scrapbook. The Sims 2 was full of various aspects of storytelling. One of the features that was missed from The Sims 2 was the cinematic cutaways. Mini videos that highlighted life's biggest milestones. They had cinematic cutaways for weddings, first kisses, woohoos, alien abductions, and plenty more. These cutaways were not included in The Sims 3. One of the biggest selling points of The Sims 3 was, of course, the open world. No more loading screens in between travelling places. Sims could just go to the park and you could follow them on their journey. This is the part where I think some of you might be a bit divided. Some of you might feel that The Sims 3 should win the gameplay section purely because of the open world, but I'm actually going to give it to The Sims 2, and here's why. Yes, The Sims 3 had an open world, but it also took longer to load the game, and it had loads of rabbit holes, which I don't mind, but there are some things I'd like to join my Sims for, like grocery shopping, which you can do in The Sims 2. I also think I would have given this to The Sims 3 if they had carried over some of the cool stuff from The Sims 2, like the memory system, the cinematic cutaways, and the private school. Ultimately, they're both great games, and I could spend hours and hours enjoying them, but one of them has to win this section, and I personally think The Sims 2 deserves to come out on top here. We've spoken a lot about the base game for The Sims 2 and The Sims 3. Now, let's look at who did expansion packs the best. I'm not going to go into too much detail on each expansion because that would be way too long, so instead I'm just going to do a quick overview of the packs. So there are some packs that both games have, and those are Seasons, University, Vacation, and Pets. Both versions of these packs offer something different, and both offer a good amount of gameplay to the base game. As I said earlier, I'm not going to compare the expansions themselves, but maybe I'll do something like that in a video in the future. The Sims 3 had Late Night, which introduced celebrities, a clubbing scene, and apartment living. The Sims 2 had Nightlife, which also included a clubbing scene, and Apartment Life, which introduced apartment living. The Sims 2 Open for Business gave Sims the ability to run their own business, whereas The Sims 3 Ambitions gave Sims the opportunity to join professions where you can go to work with your Sims. The Sims 2 Free Time was focused on hobbies and talent badges. Your Sims could join hobby groups and earn talent badges for certain skills, like restoring cars or building toys. The Sims 3 Generations was more focused on family gameplay, reintroducing memories to the franchise and providing more wholesome build and buy objects. The Sims 3 Supernatural was a pack dedicated to occult Sims. The Sims 2 didn't have a dedicated occult pack, but there were some occults in other areas. For example, aliens and ghosts were in base game, vampires were in Nightlife, and zombies and witches were in Apartment Life. The only occult that wasn't in The Sims 2 but was in The Sims 3 were werewolves and fairies. Most of the things we got in The Sims 2 expansion packs were in some way translated to The Sims 3 in other packs. They may not have been done as well or the same as they were in The Sims 2, but there were similarities. The Sims 3, however, had packs that were not in any way included in The Sims 2. For example, the Into the Future pack, the Showtime pack, and Island Paradise. And The Sims 2 also had less packs than The Sims 3. The Sims 2 had some really good beefed out content that I really enjoyed, but I'm giving this one to The Sims 3. It had more packs on offer, not even including the stuff packs and store items, plus it had the Generations expansion, which was one of the best packs to come from the franchise altogether. So in conclusion, it looks like a tie when comparing these aspects of each game. I personally am more drawn to The Sims 2. This could be because it's genuinely a better game, or it could just be because it's more sentimental to me. I'd love to know which game you prefer and where in my comparisons do you agree with my picks or disagree. I'd love to know in the comments. But that's it from me. Thanks for watching, I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.